Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Monster, episode 40. Okay.
40s.
Yes, and the three frogs in Prague.
Yes.
Or at least the three frogs are a clue to something
Prague.
that relates to Prague because of Johan's mother who's...
Right.
Yes.
All that jazz. Yeah.
So, gotcha.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Hopefully no one's dead already.
But it's almost as if they're basically saying, we're done with Munich, we're going to Prague.
Yep. Pretty much.
And for the most part, it's something that has left a lot of our main protagonist, kind of good guy characters, relatively okay.
Which is surprising.
Yeah. So
I mean, Shul still might bite it.
Nina / Anna is breaking from the group.
Yep.
She also knows about the three frogs. So you could be getting another convergence of those two stories.
Right.
And that's always good. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
It will.
I'm going to figure out what this whole thing is with these three frogs.
Yes.
So without further ado, let's get into it. 2. Aw, nice.
どうですか、グリマさん。
Oh, it's a character's
お探しの資料
Okay.
見つかりましたか？
Oh.
いやー、お手数かけてすみません、アルブレヒト院長。その子供たちを収容した施設の中に悪名高い内務省管轄のキンダーハイムがあったということです。
関係者のほとんどは亡命するか口を閉ざしているんでしょう。
そうなんですよ。海外特派員として世界中を飛び回ってましたからね。政府から与えられた任務でね。
It's a long process to copy all of that.
Yeah.
スパイですよ。
Oh, I see. Awesome.
もうなくなって。
Oh, what a guy.
人間、靴なんかなくたって生きていける。いじめるようなやつは最低だ。そんな最低な連中のせいで泣くことはない。じゃあな。
ちょっとすいません。
あ、
よろしいですか？
あ、
パスポートの入ったバッグを盗まれてしまいまして、妹が倒れたって連絡を受けまして。
倒れた？早く行ってあげなきゃいけませんね。
実は今医者にかかる金がなくて。
なんてことだ。
実は取られたバッグに財布も入っていたんで、
私は行けなくなりましたが、金だけでも送って
やれれば妹は助かるんです。でもそれすらできなくて。
いくら必要ですか？
とりあえず病院に運んで見てもらうだけのお金さえあれば。
これぐらいしか出せませんけど。
ありがとう、ダンケチン。
あんなの嘘に決まってんだろ。ダメだよ、あんなのに騙されちゃう。
騙された。
I love him. I love him so much. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
どうも助かりました。さっきはどうも。いいですか、ここ。
He's very gregarious. He likes talking to people and stuff.
Now, wouldn't that be crazy if, because he's a spy, he's actually
Right.
clocking Tenma right now and
ですよね。こんにちは。
どうも。
日本行ったことあるんですよ。盗聴器とかハイテク機材をたくさん仕入れたっけな。子供にプラモデルを買って帰ったら喜んでたな。
今お子さんは？
え？ああ、死にました。
Jeez.
出国審査です。パスポートを拝見します。
はい。
今年のマスの超過はどうかな。
あまり良くないね。
あ、そう。僕は去年これぐらいのを釣りましたよ。
The smile he has with the eyes shut. you know that he's working something like constantly.
Is he actually just playing the fool, or is he such a...
Yeah. Oh, dang.
Oh, boy.
I love this guy, Grimmer. Oh, my gosh.
Just the idea that, like, he's so smooth that...
Oh, wow.
I don't think Tenma ever told him his name either.
No.
そんなことより早く逃げた方がいいドクター天馬
Oh my gosh.
I love
oh
this
my
guy.
gosh. All right. Ah! Yes.
Just,
ここを通り
you
たいんだ
know, turn it the other way.
すみません荷物が大きくて引っかかっちゃってニッチもサッチも行かなくて
Oh my gosh. He knows who he is. He helped him get away.
外れた
Oh my gosh. That's so awesome.
ここにいた男を知ら
He's
ない
just
か
like, oh, what?
この個室にあなたともう一人東洋人がいただろう
さあ
Like a sociopath, and then he could like switch back and forth so quickly. Tenma jumping off a train, though. That might be a bit much.
Yeah. But man, Grimmer is awesome.
上出来上出来連中こっちの方には追ってきていません列車が停止したんで降りちゃいました
Right.
あ、自己紹介遅れました私グリマーって言います国境付近まで案内しましょうかドクター天馬
Wow.
Okay. Awesome.
この辺り詳しいんですよよく釣りに来るもんでねちょっと山登りはきついけどそれに見合った景色が見られますよあなたの記事片っ端から読みましたあなたのこと興味があったもんでね旧東ドイツでは冤罪なんて日常茶飯事でしたそんなこんなで本当の犯罪者と冤罪の人間との見分けが大体つくようになってしまったあなたは無実だ
先生と呼ぶのはやめてくれませんか
えだってあなた優秀な脳外科医なんでしょドクター天馬
私はもう医者じゃない
Because he killed Roberto?
いい眺めでしょうここならどっちから追っ手が来てもわかるしね
It's like then he pulls a sniper rifle out of the
こ
bag.
こらでちょいと一休みと行きましょう
Valuables
サンドイッ
indeed.
チはどうです国境越えは暗くなってからの方がいい
He's like, I have plenty of experience with this.
Yeah.
Wow, what a guy.
Food.
楽しいなあピクニック生きてる喜びってのはこういう時に感じるんだ
Yeah.
私はあなたみたいな医者を尊敬しますよ、
Ah.
でもあなたは
私は人を撃った。おそらく彼は死んだ。それまでは手が震えて狙いも定められなかった。でも一度撃ったら手の震えが止まったんだ。
Wow.
私はこれからまたもう一人撃たなければならない。私はもう医者じゃない。
Okay.
It's pretty cool how Grimmer didn't say anything that whole time.
あの子は釣りの楽しみも知らずに死んでしまった。あの時もしあなたのような医者が近くにいたらあの子の命は助かって。いやほんとこんな大きいマスが釣れるんですよ。あの山を越えればチェコの国境です。そこを越えて林道に出たら車を拾えるかもしれない。私はここらで駅に引き返します。
ありがとう、
ドクター天馬。
Wow.
Cool. So he
じゃ
took
ま
this
たどこかで
detour
会えたら
just to help
ピクニ
him.
ックしましょう。
I hope he comes back.
誰だっていろんな罪を背負ってる。その罪は消えない。でもやらなきゃいけないことがある。
All right.
素晴らしい。いやーこりゃ美しいや。初めて来たけど夜のプラハの街ってまるでおとぎの国みたいだ。
Oh.
Is that wolf?
ここいいですか？
Oh.
ペトロフさんでしょ。今はロシア国籍を買ってこのチェコに住んでらっしゃる。本名はラインハルト・ビーアマンさん。
Okay.
東ベルリンに特別な孤児院があるでしょう。少年たちに科学的な人格矯正を行っていた実験場、511キンダーハイム。あなたはそこの院長だった。何をしようとしていたんですか、旧東ベルリンのあの場所で。
Jeez.
Grimmer
Ooh.
is awesome.
As far as side characters introduced in Monster, he's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. And one of the things that I thought was really cool here is that they didn't do the usual thing. Granted, because they're setting him up to be like a recurring character,
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't like a mini story and then it's done.
Yeah.
But they did such a good job of giving him characterization, really, because you see him at the beginning and you're like, okay, who's this guy, whatever, and then he casually throws out that he was a spy, and you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah, why are you so casual about that?
Right, and we don't really clue in that, like, we were maybe suspicious, but until he tells Tenma, yeah, they know your passport's fake, we didn't realize just how intelligent and aware he really was.
Yeah.
Because you would think that he would know that the guy could have been conning him, but then it's also the fact that, like, knowing all this stuff and being this observant, he still chose to give him money, almost like he was basically choosing to believe the best about him.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Or maybe he just knew that he's that good that he knew that he was telling the truth.
Or in some ways, we've seen a lot of characters that each have, as he calls it, their sins that they have to bear that will never go away. But they have to keep moving on. Mm-hmm. And something that we noticed about his character was that he admires doctors like Tenma.
Right.
Because they get to save people. They actually get to give life. And something tells me that he is on kind of I'm going this direction, and I won't stop until I essentially save, enough people.
Right.
And I think that that's kind of his way of saying, I will atone for all the things I might have done in the past as a spy by just being a general do-gooder.
Right.
And that's something that's a very fun contradiction, because it's like he's ignoring, in some ways, via all his positivity, the things that are either causing him pain or have caused him pain, or just stuff he's had to deal with in the past. So it's like there's also a monster inside of him that he's just suppressed and mostly defeated, I would say.
Yeah.
But we see the smile and and it's a little bit too over the top, that I think we intrinsically go, I don't trust it.
Right,
it might be fake. And you said, like, is this the part where we're going to see his true personality come out? And then immediately he gives his shoes to the kid. Which I think is something that means that if he had another personality before, when he was a spy, I think he's trying to change that.
Sure.
And it is kind of funny that we're talking about Kinderheim 511 again, which was a place for scientifically changing personalities.
Yeah, and that was the thing that he always seems to talk about, is the behavioral correction, aspects of it, which is not something that they've really focused on before. So that must mean that it's probably something that's very important to him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So if anything, maybe he's someone that's been, experimenting on himself. I'm trying to do behavioral correction for me. He's like, I was a spy and I, got 27 kills and
he stabilized 3 countries and
I've seduced and used like 50 women and like 25 men and and just like I've done all these crazy things.
And that's one of the things that I really loved about this. They didn't actually say or give any real indication of what he had done. It was just that he was a spy, and we saw the effect of whatever he had done, right?
Yeah.
And how he was dealing with that, how he was coping with it in a very effective way. So that's like, it's a great way to show without showing, like, because you're showing the aftermath, and then it just basically tantalizes the imagination, so you just wonder what were the other things he's done.
And it also tells us he's going to be a lot like Richard was, in that he's someone that's investigating that could run parallel with Tenma. In fact, in this case, he knows about Tenma, and he loves Tenma. He wants to help Tenma, and he's going to stick around for a long time like Richard, but he is going to jump straight into the lion's, den, essentially. And
which is fun because he's so confident, and like there's a real dissonance about his cheerfulness, right?
Yeah.
With the situations that he goes into. And there's the question of, okay, does that mean he's just the bumbling fool, or does that mean that he's actually got it all under control, and he's like, yeah, I've dealt with crazy stuff like this before,
Yeah. I think that it's the spy stuff coming through actually more than anything. He's using it as a way of behavioral modification for himself, that the decisions that he makes are to change who he is. But the face that he puts on is a mask, just like he would put on any other mask when he was a spy, probably. I'm not done. The specific act of having this much positivity, though, unlocks, I would say, the barriers between him and others when it comes to social settings. We saw Tenma open up to him so easily because he did the thing of you're from Japan, konnichiwa. There's this song, and he's basically making himself look unassuming and unthreatening, so that he can basically connect with people really quickly. And that's the kind of thing that made me go because that's the kind of thing that in some ways someone that's a little bit dangerous would do that, because they could be anything to anyone, and then they're using their incredible powers of perception to go, I'm going to alter myself just enough that I can connect with this person. And it's something that could have the best intentions, but it's still something that made me go, ooh.
Well, I would say that's a pretty pessimistic way of looking at it, but
totally is,
because we do that all the time in our everyday life. Of basically,
but he's so good at it, though.
Right. That's why it gets scary. Well, the fact that he's so good at it, and that we don't really know much about him.
Yes,
the fact that he's mysterious.
Well, we did know that he was a spy.
Right, we do know that he was a spy. So there's that other aspect.
So he has experience doing it.
Right. And one of the things that I think is a really cool connection between the whole idea of the behavioral correction and the fact that he's a spy, and the fact that he puts on this other face. If you think about it, in order to be the best spy possible, or liar possible, or whatever, you would want to really believe the things that you're saying, right?
Oh, true.
So the idea that putting on a mask, is it actually a mask? Or is he actually basically saying, I'm changing myself in the moment in order to be able to attain some objective, right?
I think that's a great line of discussion, and even you're probably right.
And because if it does go deep like that, then there wouldn't really be much of a way for someone to be able to tell that he's faking it, because he wouldn't necessarily be faking it. Now, if Johan were to see him, he'd probably be able to figure out what he was up to.
But he probably also has a bit of a problem with reality then, because he had that moment of was I cheated? Was I scammed, essentially, right there? Because if he believes it so much, he could end up accidentally believing himself into a false reality.
Possibly,
something that's not real.
But it could also be something where he was just saying, because that
playfully, was I?
Yeah. And that's what I love about that line, because it can be interpreted a bunch of different ways.
Totally.
It could be, was I? Oh no, I was cheated. Oh darn. Or it could be, was I cheated? You sure about that?
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Or it could be the genuine question. Just, wait, was I? Because then in some ways, what his interest might have been is that, whoa, that guy might have been so good.
Oh, yeah.
That I didn't actually realize it. And the thing is I think that's the point also of his character, is that he doesn't care that much about whether or not he was cheated, because I think the act of helping the person wasn't about whether or not he was actually helping that person with the thing that their little story they were telling him. It was that to him, it's the same thing.
Sure, because it's him being generous in himself, and
it's him changing himself,
right, and choosing to believe the best about other people and be generous, even if there's the possibility that they're trying to cheat him. It's just money, you know, that's fine. And it's not like he gave them a ton, you know.
That's another good point. The whole idea of money and resources, and him giving his shoes and his money. There's a very real possibility this guy's filthy loaded because he's a spy, or he has access to, you know, old accounts and stuff.
But then there's also the possibility that he has almost nothing other than what's in his duffel bag.
Yeah, like, that's another
because
real
he's
possibility.
given everything else away. Like,
and also the old regime of East Germany fell. So maybe he's talking about how he was a spy for them. What does a spy that was out and about and away do when they come back to their country and everything's different? The entire country is dissolved essentially, and you're like, I guess I don't have any. Maybe that was his awakening.
I never existed anyways, so, you know.
But maybe that was his awakening that he needed to change. Was he realized, I've been given a second chance. It's like fate itself basically just gave me the opportunity to shed my old life.
I really can't be anyone now, because even the people that knew who I was when I was no one are now gone. Yeah.
And you know, for all intents and purposes, they don't care.
Nope.
Like, no one's gonna come after me and stuff, because it's not like I have a danger to a country that doesn't exist anymore.
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, the only people he would have to worry about are old enemies, and if he was good enough, then they wouldn't be an issue.
They wouldn't know about him anyway.
Yeah, and this is before the internet anyway.
So maybe that's why he's also so casual about saying, yeah, I was a spy.
Yep.
I mean, he does talk about it in past tense.
That's true.
Right. That is another kind of good point, is that whenever he brings up he's a spy, he's like, I was a spy. He also brings up how he was a newspaper person there.
Right.
He's saying, like, now I'm a journalist. Like, now I have, like, one purpose in life.
Right. Now he's going on his walkabout, whatever, and doing whatever it is that he's doing.
There's so many contradictions in his character. I love it.
It's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
Yep,
and they even set up the little things to happen within his proximity, like the kids, you know, bullying the kid for the shoes and stuff.
Right.
And for that to happen, you know, in the beginning, where it's like, okay, I guess some kids are bullying. What's the and those little setups. The bit with the bag being too big to go through the door there, and then Tenma helps him, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to use that trick again.
Yeah.
There's all these little things where I feel like, in some ways, he reminds me of Johan. Now, you're gonna laugh at this, but remember how Johan...
I see what you mean.
Oh, you see what I mean? Okay. You remember how Johan went and asked questions about fear, right? In some ways, Johan was looking at improving his weapon, you know?
Okay.
This guy is looking at improving who he is as a person. Like, he is trying to become a better person, it seems like.
Oh, that's... Okay, I thought you were going to go a totally different angle with the whole being similar to Johan thing.
Oh, I mean that they're both warm and in some ways charismatic.
Yeah.
But they're both coming at this from the purpose of changing who they are internally. So, like... An example would be, like, they have their hardware, and they can't change that. That's just static and stuff.
Or can they?
Well... No, I'm talking about then there's the software, which is, you know, basically the how I think, what I believe, and all this other stuff. And they're both, like, actively seeming to try and, you know, recode or, you know, alter their software. So it's I really like that.
One of the things that the whole connection between him and Johan, I totally saw that too. One of the big ways that I did see it was how... not worried they were about all the stuff that could be going on around them.
Sure, yeah.
They very much took everything on an approach, you know, like day-by-day basis, it seemed. You know, like, because not that they don't have plans, of course, but the idea that if something random happens, they can roll with it, you know, they can deal with all that. And even the thing of, like, say, his bag getting stuck and, like, Tenma helping him, you know, part of me wonders...
What if that was intentional?
You know, because, like, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, because we don't know that much about them, we don't see their internal thoughts and stuff, we can't know for sure. And since we know that he's a person that's extremely competent, there's grounds, you know, there's plausible...
there's enough reason for us to suspect him of doing these things intentionally.
Yep.
Specifically with... the whole idea of him not worrying about the consequences of things. I really like how that ties into the whole thing of maybe he only has the things that he carries in his duffel bag. And in some ways he's going after this kind of dangerous, crazy game of, in some ways, spy stuff. which is contrary to the actions that he's taking, which could lead us to believe that while he wants to move on to a different life and stuff, he's going to end up having to use the things that he learned as a spy in order to do better work as an investigative journalist.
Well, and one of the things that I really like about how they've set him up so far is that he, while it's the whole idea of the retired badass, kind of a thing, he doesn't seem to have a problem using the unique set of skills that he's acquired. Like, he seems very much...
at least some of them.
Yeah, at least some of them.
Not all of them. We don't know how many he has.
We don't know how many he has, and we haven't seen... he didn't pull out a sniper when they got up to the, the top of that mountain. So, there's that.
Right.
But,
now, we don't know if he was an assassin, Jacob. A spy is very different from an assassin.
Yes. We don't know how much, if any, killing, he did. And I'm really glad that they kept that ambiguous. But just the fact that it's not something where he's like, oh, I'm trying to put all this behind me. It seems like he's basically, like he's very much making it work for himself. He's using the strengths that he has. And he's just, trying to make sure he atones for all the stuff that he did back then along the way.
Yeah, but he's also moving forward past that. His little line to Tenma at the end of the episode was fantastic for that, meaning that he's not trying to put himself into a state where he
has to go super spy and do crazy stuff and whatnot.
No. What I'm saying is that he's not trying to forget what he's done. He's trying to change who he is so that he doesn't do, like, maybe those types of things in the future.
Yeah.
And someone like Tenma, who has, potentially killed someone, which is funny because he said he's probably dead.
Right.
Which means Roberto could be alive. Because if he shot him in the head, Tenma would say he's dead. Which means that...
He's seen people survive bullet wounds to the head before, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but that was after, like, he saved him. Like, no one else but him could have saved Johan. So...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No head on a spike in a bulletproof glass case.
Yeah. But specifically with Tenma being someone who has done good, a lot of good, and bad in some ways, according to Tenma.
Right.
Now. Because he shot someone and he desires to kill someone else, so he's like, I'm no longer worthy of being
crossed
called...
the line.
Yeah. The other guy basically has this viewpoint of like, well, we all crossed the line.
Right.
We all have our sins to bear and to our burdens to carry. But the idea is that you don't stop moving, you just keep going. So what he's saying is, I'm not against your current path, Tenma. I'm not going to try and dissuade you from going to kill someone.
Right.
Which is interesting, because what he's saying is that you shouldn't let those burdens keep you from moving.
Right.
Now, the thing is that there's a very mixed morality bag in there.
Sure.
What he's saying is in some ways, like, you have to trust yourself, actually. You have to, in some ways, you have to be willing to take the risk to keep moving forward despite the mistakes you could make in the future.
Right.
And that's something that, for this guy as a spy, he seems to be so adamant about doing good when it presents itself to him as an opportunity, that maybe he's a little... This might be reading into it a little bit too much, but maybe he's being a little bit hypocritical in a cool kind of contradictory way. Maybe,
but I think it's more of just that he thinks about things differently than Tenma, because Tenma's whole, like, his whole conflict here, right? It totally makes sense, right? Because that's the kind of person he is. But I feel like he's basically saying, Tenma, you need to stop taking yourself so seriously. No one's perfect. The fact that you've done bad things, cool. Join the club. Like, everyone does bad things, right? It's not about what you have done, it's about what you're going to keep doing.
But he's not offering him the thing of, you should change who you are internally. In some ways, he's saying, because you think about what he said before, he says, I look up to people like you, Tenma. In fact, I think this kind of could be extrapolated. I want to be like like you, Tenma. And the whole thing of him being like, oh, I shot someone, that might have been new information for the guy. And he might have been like, sure, okay. He's like, that kind of makes sense given what I know you've been up to, but okay. Yeah. But that whole thing there didn't make him give any advice on how to, remember what you know to be true, or keep yourself anchored on what's important. He gave him the advice of just keep moving forward, which is, I think something that when we get to learn more about Grimmer, we're going to see that he's someone who, if he has any desire to change who he is so that he's different than who he was before, he's not really fully moving forward. And that's my logic there, is that if he wants to change who he is to be better in the future, solely just for the sake of the future, then that's fine. There's no hypocrisy in that at all. But if it's him basically saying, I want to do that to atone for the past, in a way, he isn't moving forward. And I think that both opportunities, even if it is both, or neither, or whatever, potentially makes his character really, really interesting. Because he's got the mask on so much, potentially he's not able to, see what's going on inside him.
His identity might be the mask.
Great. Yes. Yeah, that's the classic spy stuff, but it works so well with this guy here. As far as spy characters I've seen or spy introductions I've had,
this was a fantastic
This is top 5, probably one of the best ones. And I'm just hoping Johan doesn't kill him anytime soon, because I love this guy so much.
One of the things that I'm kind of curious about is, because the fact that he knows all this about Tenma, right?
Yeah.
Now, this could be just the fact that he's a spy, so he doesn't like sharing too much of his own personal informations and motives and things like that.
Right,
but
sure.
You would think that he could have been like, oh, hey, Tenma, you're going to Prague, I'm going to Prague, cool. I'm actually investigating this whole Kinderheim 511 thing too. Blah, blah, blah. What brings you to Prague? They would be a pretty dynamic duo, methinks. So...
see, that's the thing.
So
the fact that shows that because he didn't do that.
Right. That just
tells
adds
us
more
a lot.
Questions. Right. Yeah. It tells us a lot, but nothing really specific. So,
you want to know what I think it tells us?
What?
I think it tells us that he knows that their objectives don't align.
Sure.
And he wants to avoid future conflict, potentially by joining up.
And then
also, he's so good at what he does that in some ways Tenma would slow him down.
I could definitely see that, especially since, because Tenma actually has a known face and all that stuff, and he's like, no, I'm not dealing with that. And then there's the question of in the whole thing of their interests not aligning, is that could be just that they're not perfectly parallel, or it could be that they're perpendicular, right? And it could be anywhere in between those. We don't know.
Who knows?
So, great episode.
Great episode.
Great character.
We have the director of Kinderheim being interviewed very casually by a spy in Mr. Grimmer.
Yep.
This guy, the director of Kinderheim, he looks terrified, to say the least.
Yes. Well, and I mean, probably because of Johan to some extent, but and then there's just the fact that he got found out by this guy, so he's probably not going to live long.
I just wonder if this is the instance where we're going to see the spy stuff get pulled into effect here, whether or not he's going to basically be like, oh, well, never mind, it's no big deal, and he just leaves.
Yeah.
Or if he's like, oh, cool, yeah, there's this really good, bar or wherever, we should go over there, and basically he finds some way to coerce him into a specific situation where then he's able to give up more information, then maybe he tortures him or whatever. I am curious to see what things he asks him, because I think that when I look at Grimmer's character, I don't see an end goal, and that's something that kind of disturbs me.
Maybe that's one of the other things that helps remind us of Johan. Yeah,
it's something that Yeah, I think it's tied to he doesn't seem to care as much about the consequences. He has no urgency.
Right.
Like the fact that he, helped Tenma go all the way out there, went all the way back to the train station to take a train to go all the way to Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's pretty crazy.
He's a mixed bag of curiosities.
Mysterious fellow.
Very mysterious fellow. But yeah, guys, it's a fantastic monster episode.
Oh yeah.
Great new character introduced.
Definitely.
We're moving to Prague. We're in Prague. It looks like a city out of a fairy tale.
Yeah, that was
very on the nose.
Yeah.
It really makes us wonder how much Grimmer knows.
Yep.
So yeah, guys, this is awesome. If you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, where you can chat with us about stories or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.